Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. After the craziness of the last couple of weeks, this week has been quite dull in comparison. Not that I'm complaining, we certainly didn't want to have any more terrible weather like we had. No more flooding or power outages or trees on fences. That was awful, and I would not wish to have that again. But I think just in comparison, it's just been a fairly quiet week this week. I think also we were all very tired and strung out after dealing with everything. And so we all just took a step back and were much more quiet and relaxed. We're also now in the depths of winter. We just had the winter solstice this past week. So the days are very short right now, which means there isn't a lot of daylight to be able to do things. But gradually now we will start to see the days get a little bit longer. But right now, it's also not great weather for being outside. It's literally pouring outside right now. Yesterday was nice, but the nice days are few and far between, and we're much more likely to just get these grey days with quite a lot of rain, which makes it difficult and unpleasant to actually get out and do jobs outside. So we do the absolute minimum, and the rest of the time we can spend inside doing other things, which is what I've done this week. Um, I got quite inspired and I started to clean out my wardrobe. I'd realized that I had a whole lot of shoes that I just haven't been wearing, and they're taking up a lot of the floor space in my wardrobe. So I took them all out and I've put the ones that I haven't worn in quite a long time into a box away from the rest of my clothes. And I'll keep them for a little while and see if I decide that I want to put any of them back. Otherwise, they will be donated to charity or sold, because I just haven't been wearing them. And I figure I can actually use the floor space in my wardrobe much better by being able to see the shoes that I wear regularly more easily. And I've also now put a little basket in there that I used to keep in my bathroom of the current clothes that I'm wearing. So if I take something off and I've only worn it once and it's still quite clean, I can pop it in there and then it can go back on again rather than going away or going into the laundry. So that then led me to cleaning up my bathroom and changing that around. So I moved my linen, which I used to keep in a shelving system in there, and I put them into a cupboard in the other room. And I've now moved the shelving that I had in the bathroom outside to keep all of my boots and farm gear and gaiters and things like that neat and tidy. So they're all lined up and easy to see, slightly protected from the weather, and not in a big messy pile anymore. So I'm hoping that that helps me to be able to quickly grab things from outside as I need them. Then I moved my chest of knitwear from beside the bed. It was in the sort of bay window area, and I've moved that from there into the bathroom. And I decided to do this because I kept sort of not putting my knitwear away properly. It was around the other side of the bed. It was kind of a bit difficult to get to. It sort of banged on the curtains when I wanted to open it. And so it just became a bit of a pain. So by moving it into the bathroom, which is quite a big space, I now am able to easily open and close it and get and see all of my knitwear and hopefully wear some things that I haven't worn in quite a while. I've got a lot of shawls that have been sitting in there. And also, it now provides a really good seat in there to be able to pop on my socks or lay out my clothes, and have them ready for when I get out of the shower. So, yeah, I've been doing a little bit of that sort of inside stuff. And then I did some wardrobe cleaning out as well, putting some of my summer clothes into tubs under the bed and just going through things that I haven't worn so much. I'm hoping over time that I can really pare everything back. I feel like it's a little bit cluttered right now. I don't want to throw away things that are still good and that I still wear, but I feel like I have a lot. So I'm being quite conscious now about making sure that if something is not fitting properly, or if something is a little bit worn, that it needs to go out of the wardrobe so that I can make space to be able to see the things that I do wear and make sure that everything hangs really nicely. So that's what I spent my week on. I wasn't outside stuff, it was all inside doing some winter cleaning. The end of financial year is fast approaching, so I've been doing a little bit of preparation for stock records and things like that. And I discovered some Christmas yarn in the bottom of a tub. I thought that I didn't have any of that stock left, but I do have a few left. So I'm going to do a special sale from now through to the end of July of the few Christmas skeins that I have left in stock. My plan is to then not re-dye all of my Christmas yarns for this coming year and just do one brand new color. So retire all of these Christmas colors, at least for a little while. They might come back at some point, but I'm not going to dye them up this year. So I have already put them up in the shop, so they're available to buy now. There are very limited numbers, and they are at a really good discount. So if you've been looking at my Christmas yarns, this is definitely time to go and check them out, because as I said, I am not going to be dyeing these up this year, and maybe not for a few years. So I've got some sugar plums, which is one of my absolute favorites. So my 2021 colorway may have a bit of a nod to this. I haven't really decided yet, but I really do love how this one looks. I've also got some by candlelight. Some peppermint pie. And festive pavlova. So I've got a few skeins of each of these, as well as one very limited mini skein set, which has one of each of these plus ho ho ho, which I don't have any full skeins left of. So get in quick and grab your Christmas in July yarn if you want to get some right now. Also, a quick update on the computer and recording situation. As you can see, no cord this week. I actually invested in a pair of AirPods. I'm hoping that they will work for recording. I'm also recording directly into the editing software that I'm using. So I'm hoping that the combination of both of those things will make the sound and the video and everything a lot easier and less work for me, as well as being good enough quality for you to be able to hear and see everything. As I said, it is raining quite heavily outside and I can hear it on the tin roof. So I'm hoping that the microphone is not picking that up and is just picking up my voice. I figured that by investing in AirPods, I could use them with my phone and with my iPad as well. We'll see. Hopefully this is going to be a good solution. So for a week where I said there was not a lot of outside stuff done and I spent a lot of time inside, I also didn't spend a lot of time crafting. I just haven't had a ton of motivation, to be honest. And I spent quite a lot of time doing all of that clothes sorting and moving furniture and things like that. So the knitting kind of went on the back burner this week. I did weave in the ends of my previous pair of spiral socks, and I knit a couple of rounds, really not that much, on my current pair of socks. As you can see, I'm not even, oh, I'm very tangled. I'm not even to the heel on the second sock yet. So that's okay. Sometimes you just don't have the motivation, but I kind of have it with me all the time. And if I feel like it, I can. And if not, it just sits there and doesn't get done. I did though, and this is quite big. I finished the sleeve of my radiate, one sleeve, not both. So here is the finished sleeve with the detail on the bottom. I really do like how this has turned out. I like that I didn't do a lot of decreases on the sleeve. It's nice and baggy. I really want to finish this jumper, so I want to try and get the other sleeve cast on. I haven't even picked it up. It's still on the holder because I want to make sure that I can wear it this winter. I know it's going to be beautiful and warm because this is beautiful, thick wool, but I was struggling with this sleeve. Normally I do the sleeves near the start, just after I've separated for them down here, which means that you're not having to twist the whole jumper around all the time. I found it quite heavy on my hands, and it was a little bit, cumbersome to have to move the whole jumper around. I'm going to have to do that again, plus a sleeve hanging around as well for the second one. And I did it for a reason this time. I've said this before. I had one big ball of the brown, and I didn't want to cut it to knit the sleeve before I finished the body. So I did the body all first, then cut the yarn, and then do the sleeves. What I would normally do is you'd have a couple of balls of yarn when you're making a jumper, so you can keep the body yarn attached and start with a new ball, do the sleeves, and then go back to the body. So I did it for a reason, but I know why I normally will knit the sleeves first. And that will be the way that I will do it as preference rather than leaving them till the end, because it's just feels like such a hard thing to do. But I'm on the home stretch now. I only have the one to go, and I really, really want to wear it. So I have to push through to get this done soon. I have done a little bit of spinning this week. It was nice to have the heater on and sit and watch some crappy TV and just spin for a little bit. I'm on the second colour of the second half of the kaleidoscope box that I've been working on for quite a while. It's nice to get back into the bright pinks and purples that were at the start of the first one. I have struggled to get my tension right with the start of a new bobbin. I feel like I am still a new spinner, even though I've been doing it for a few years. I'm still doing things for the first time. And as I was getting the bobbin more full, I was changing the tension as it took up differently. And now I've had to change the tension back to cope with being on an empty bobbin. I'm hoping that the two yarns end up looking fairly similar so that when I ply, they work well together and I have about the same amount of colour for each, because my plan is to do a 2-ply and have the colours gradiate through and then use that in a shawl pattern to really show off the colours of the spin. So fingers crossed that works out. I've still got a long way to go before I know if that's worked or not, but I feel like I've now got my groove back again, which is really good. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.